Okay, we're back on our male Riverbend Eagle. I did have a chance to reposition and get a little bit better lighting here. So we do have him sitting up on one of the light poles here at Hogan Park. And he's been up here for about 15 minutes now. And so I think he's probably gonna get ready to fly off unless he's just digesting. Haven't seen the female yet. Haven't seen any large birds in the area other than him. He hasn't been vocalizing, so that's kind of what we're waiting for here. He does keep looking off to the east, so we're going to just keep an eye on this one and see what it's going to do. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more just so we can see it's our male. Doesn't have the beak issue. I'll zoom back out and just keep an eye on him to see which way he's going to fly off. If he goes over to the nest tree, he's probably going to be intent on some nest building. If he goes off towards the driving range, we'll know that the female's probably sitting over there, and there will be some bonding. If he goes off to the left, it'll mean that he's probably flying over the lakes and maybe doing some hunting. And if he goes off to the east, he may be headed over towards Bezos Ponds. So we kind of know what these raptors do, kind of have their habits down after watching them for so many years. But again, this is our male Riverbend Eagle. This male has been with this mama for probably since 2019, 2020-ish. We had a bad patch of where the males were either lost. Our male that we had with the mama for many years, we had named him Dot because he had a dot on the top of his head. Disappeared one January and we never saw him again. So the mama ended up courting or, having a couple other males come into the area. One of them was found bleeding out in the golf course. Another was found bleeding out on the bank of the Green River. We recovered both of those eagles. And from the condition of both of them, the one was still alive when we picked it up and it was bleeding out. It looked like it had been exposed to rat poison. The other one we weren't sure about because it was a few days on the bank of the river before we saw it. So could have been a fight. When there are new males being courted, there's sometimes eagle fighting. But again, they had been doing a lot of levee work and a lot of rats in that area at that time. So it could have been, again, some rat poison. We aren't sure. So we are very fortunate to still have this pair active in the area. They did have a young one last year and it did not make it, so we're not sure what happened to that one. So we're hoping that they have a successful year this year. Now we do have some crows coming in to dive this eagle. You're going to see them here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see them. They're not happy about the eagle being over here. They do nest over in the trees at the golf course, and so again, the eagles sometimes will raid their nest, sometimes go after them. So, and the eagle is the apex predator, so it usually wins. They compete for food sources as well. So the crows, it's kind of a symbiotic relationship, a love-hate relationship. So if the crows get food, the eagles usually will see it and try to take it away. Likewise, if the eagle gets food, the crows will see it and try to take it away. So it just depends on the situation, who has the food and who can get it away from the others. The eagle's not going to want to hunt a whole lot. They will try to grab something from somebody else or grab a dead thing on the road. They'd prefer to do that than hunt actively because it takes less energy. So eagles are very energy conservatory, I guess is the word. They don't like to expend a lot of energy unless they have to. So when people say, oh yeah, the eagle took my cat, no, the cat was probably dead, or it was a very young cat, and it could have been sick. Again, an eagle is not going to try to fight a live animal if it doesn't have to. Now, if it's starving, that's another story. So again, you know, it just depends on the food situation. All right, we're getting a really good close look at this eagle again, our male from the Riverbend. I did take a bunch of pictures of him while he was sitting over at the conifer, so I'm not going to take any more pictures here. So here comes another crow, going to give the eagle a hassle. And at some point the eagle may say, you know what, it's Saturday morning, I just want to relax, so I'm going to go fly somewhere else. Here comes another crow. And another one. I'm going to zoom out so you can see the crows. We got two of them coming in now, so the first one and the second one, so they're going to tag team. And again, we have just a beautiful day out here. It's a little bit chilly, but boy, I tell you, for a weekend in the winter in the Pacific Northwest, you can't beat it. The mountains have had lots of snow, so the skiers are happy. The rivers have gone down, so us lowlanders are happy. And we have a good weekend. So this is pretty fabulous. Okay, we're going to zoom in on this one, and then I think we're going to go ahead and call it good until he decides he's going to go someplace. Then we'll see where he's going to head off to and follow him over there. We do want to catch some nest building today, so that's our primary goal for the day, is to get some nest building. It is January, middle of January, or coming up on the middle of January, so January, February is really when they start getting active with their nest and bonding together. So you'll notice this eagle's eyes are a little bit different too. So besides the beak, you'll see that the eyes look a little bit different. The head shape is maybe a little bit different on this one. So when you're looking at this video and comparing it to the other one with the female, you'll start noticing some differences. And so that's how we identify our eagles, is by these subtle differences between them. Now this one is a third smaller, so if the female flew in and sat next to him, you would see a significant size difference, so with him being the smaller of the two. But when they sit individually like this, it's really hard to tell. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit, because I think he might be getting ready to take off here. He does see something. Again, having an eagle eye, right? The ability to see about 10 times what we can see. Okay. We did name this one Dark Feather because when he joined the mama, he had a dark feather in his tail. Or one of the sides of his feathers was darker than the others. So, again, they do molt, so he may have lost that feather. So it's really hard to, you know, identify the eagles unless they do have these specific markings. But this one, just the behaviors and just the familiarity with the female, pretty darn sure it's the same eagle the last few years. We have had some other juveniles in the area. Some that are, one was like a 4.5-year-old maybe. So could be looking for a territory. So that's kind of an interesting thing. This male will have to defend his territory if another male does come into the area. And even though our eagles mate for life, if one eagle passes, the other will take another mate. Okay, and there he goes. He is taking off, and he's going back over to the lakes area. So we're going to go see if we can find him, and if not, we'll head on our way. Okay, have a great day.